Two questions. Who is the master, you or your mobile? You don't have to answer me now. Just remember that question. Just those two questions. And we will revisit this towards the end. Okay? कुछ तो करते होंगे. That's why you're all here. So the current state of affairs, the three reasons for increased digital sorrow in current times. किस प्रकार का दुख है? Digital दुख ज्यादा हो गया है. And the reason for that increase in digital sorrow and emotional distress are these three aspects: lack of attention, continuous distractions, and constant comparison. Now, constant comparison is already out of the window. Yes or no? You're going to leave here and then go. Already, most of you must have left it yesterday night, evening itself. Yes? Yeah. So this is not an issue for us. These two is what we are going to handle in today's session. So what is the greatest challenge of current times? Lack of focus. Okay. Lack of purpose. Okay. Strength. Stress. Okay. Okay. Waste information. Okay. Lot of digital information. Okay. Now here is something I want you to start take from as a part of this retreat. Try to be solution centric instead of thinking problem centric. Instead of saying, how can I reduce my digital consumption? Wrong question. And in a minute, you will understand why that is. Start asking a different question. Why do I get angry? Wrong question. Because where is your focus? On anger. How can I be peaceful? Right question. Because now your focus is on being peaceful. Because when you're peaceful, anger automatically will disappear. So how to keep my mind positively engaged? This is the most important question. Because brain is a wonderful attachment machine. It always wants to be engaged. If you don't engage it, it will engage itself with a lot of nonsense. And we are all familiar with it. So if we want to experience that happiness and joy and peace, then we must remember that I am the, what did we learn yesterday? I am the master. So you see how each session is also related to the other in the whole retreat. So when I remember I am the master and I start positively engaging my mind and brain. So for those of you, so that there is no confusion, brain is hardware, mind is software. Okay, so that you don't have to keep worrying about which one is which. Easy? So we are going to talk about 3 M's today as a part of the positive engagement of mind. Can you guess what those 3 M's are? Meditation, very good. Mindfulness, okay. Meaningful, okay. Starts with an M. Motivation, good. So we're going to talk about mobile, mind, and meditation. And there is a very close relationship. Many people might be thinking, why are Brahmakumaris so focused about mobile or digital wellness? There's a reason. Mobile distracts your mind. Meditation stabilizes your mind. Mobile distracts your mind and meditation stabilizes your mind. And that's why Brahmakumaris are interested in sharing the message of digital wellness. When you continue to consume high calorie diet every single day and you don't use that energy, what happens to the body? Weight gain and fatigue. Very good. And you feel lazy. Yes. And it also leads to a lot of lifestyle diseases. This is what happens with respect to those physical calories. We all know that. Now, my question to you, how many digital calories do you consume on a daily basis? You don't have to answer me. Just reflect. So this whole retreat is about reflecting, reviewing, and then realizing and experiencing that. So how many digital calories? And do you know what is happening to your brain, to your body, to your relationships because of these digital calories? All of us are digitally overweight and many of us are digitally obese. You agree with that? But what are these digital calories doing? There's a lot of ignorance out there. And that is what we will try to answer in this session. Accessible and affordable data, plane loads of digital calories. 15 years ago, some of you are old enough, where after checking the email, you switched off the mobile data. You remember those days? नहीं तो एयरटेल वाला वो बिल बढ़ा देगा. Whatever you had to check, you just checked and then switched off the mobile data. But nowadays, people even forgot that there is such a kind of a switch called mobile data. Because when things started becoming more affordable and accessible, that is when all these addictions or digital addictions have increased. So what do these digital calories do? Please make a note in bold and reflect on this. Digital calories distract your mind and destroy your brain. I'm going to show you how. You don't have to write every single sentence because we're going to share the slide deck. But this one is important. Digital calories, what do? They distract your mind and destroy your brain. Not metaphorically, physically destroying the brain. The number of digital calories that we are typically exposed to, I did the math so that you don't have to. That was about 8 months ago. And in 8 months, they must have added another 10 or 15,000 hours of content. Without a break, without a weekend break, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 4 hours every day, you still need 100 years. 26,000 movies, 2,700 TV shows. Each TV show running for at least 12 or 13 seasons. Each season running for 10 or 11 episodes. Each episode running for at least 45 minutes. Do the math. 50 plus streaming services. And I haven't even added all your favorite apps yet. So literally we are swimming in an ocean of digital calories. And remember, we can't change the world. Yes or no? So whom should I change? Myself. So we can't stop this. But how can I keep myself safe from getting drowned? That is what I need to learn. Good question. You seem to be very advanced. I'm going to deal that as a part of this session. So be with us. So what do these digital calories do? Again, one question. What is the most important skill? We talked about the greatest challenge. Now we are going to talk about the greatest, most important skill that is needed in current times. Tolerance power. Focus. Self-control. Anything else? Productivity. उसका कोई अंत है? Productivity. Knowing when to stop. Skill. Digital literacy. Discipline. Okay. For all these, what we need, and attention is something which we don't pay attention to. Neither in school, nor in college, nor in our professional life, nobody teaches us about attention. Did anyone attend a session exclusively on attention? Not a single hand. Since childhood, tens of thousands of times we have been told pay attention, but nobody told us what it is. How do I enhance it? How do I become better at paying attention? An interesting phrase you see, we pay attention. You will learn that also. Why we call it as pay attention. Now let's do this exercise. You're all seated. You don't even have to touch your chair. Just feel the surface on which you are seated. Just feel it. Pay attention to that sense of touch. Just experience. You don't even have to touch it. How hard or soft the chair is, how warm or cold the chair is, you're able to experience it? You felt it? Now listen to the sound of the fan. You're there for the last 20 minutes. But as soon as I asked you to pay attention, that sensory input became your experience. Because brain is a fantastic filter and attention is its gate. Whatever you pay attention to, that particular sensory input alone is processed by the brain. Whatever is processed by the brain becomes your experience. Because if every sensory input is processed by brain, we would literally go mad. That's why brain is very selective. It's fantastic filter. But what is allowed to enter? Whatever you pay attention to. That's why wherever my attention goes, energy flows. Wherever energy flows, life grows. Positive or negative? Positive or negative? Each one of us, we are here today because each one of us is a product of our attention. Whether you paid attention to it or not. Each one of us is a product of our attention. And what you will become from here on is also a product of your attention. What you became is a product of attention from the past, and what you will become in the future is a product of your attention in the present. So who is impacting such an important aspect of attention? When you are focused on doing a particular task, you receive a phone call. You attend the phone call, you come back to the task you are doing. Will you be able to bring back the focus immediately, or will it take some time? For all of us, it takes time. And for some of us, that's it for that day. We'll go back to it only next day. The reason is, every time I switch my attention or I perform an attentional switch, write down those two words. Attentional switch. Every time I perform an attentional switch from one task to an unrelated task, a portion of my energy gets spent in performing that attentional switch. And that's why it's called as brain's switching penalty. That's how the brain works. And you must have experienced on some days, you get disturbed so many times that at the end of the day, you feel exhausted. And if you look back, nothing productive got done. We experience that? Now that's where your energy is getting spent. Now ask yourself, in a live long day, for no reason, मोबाइल ने कोई चुरपुर किया ही नहीं है, फिर भी चेक कर लेते हैं. Like one of my friend who commented, we got so used to checking our mobile, it's like a new parent checking the diaper of their kid. होता कुछ नहीं है, फिर भी चेक कर लेते हैं. And why is this important? Why are we talking about this brain switching penalty? You want to cook some rice. You put the rice in the cooker, put it on the gas stove, switch on the flame. Now, every time you receive a notification or a call, switch off the flame. Attend to the notification or the call. Come back and switch on the flame. Will it take longer or shorter for the cooking to get completed? Agreed? And for some dishes, you need continuous flame. Otherwise, the dish will not get cooked. Attention is that flame that is helping us accomplish things in our life. Please write that. Attention is that flame. Every time you get distracted, you are switching off that flame. And then you come back, a portion of your energy got wasted in brain switching penalty, and it'll take lot more time for you to bring back that focus. That's why both efficiency and effectiveness both get impacted because of this constant distraction. Distraction is equal to switching off the attention flame. Simple equation. What is distraction? You are switching off the flame of attention. Ask yourself. Many of you must be thinking that those times when there was no mobile, when there was only one telephone, or when there was no social media, so we become nostalgic because now you know how much time and energy is getting wasted. Now, many leaders in the audience, nowadays I get to listen a lot saying, Bala, one of the things that is celebrated and asked for during interviews and even in job postings is, can you multitask? So let's see if we can multitask. Ready? Let's play a game. And all of you will need a notebook and a pen because there are still some games that you can't play on your mobile. One of those is this. All of you have a notebook and a pen? Yes. Open a fresh page and draw 2 lines such that your page gets divided into 3 parts. Two lines, page gets divided into 3 parts. Done? Easy? Now, attention please. You are not going to start until I ask you to start. So first listen to the instructions. You have this first line. So what I want you to do is write this sentence, multitasking is a lie, on top of this first sentence. Don't start. Attention please. I'll give you time. I'm still giving you the instructions. So how you are going to do is, you are going to write a M on top of the line and you're going to write 1 below the line. You will write a U on top of the line. You will write a 2 below the line. You will write a L. You will write a, very intelligent, good. You will write a 3. You will write a T. You will write 4. So you will keep writing the first letter on top of the line and then you keep increasing the count. You don't have to number the spaces. You have to number only the letters. And what letters I've already given you here. Are the instructions clear? Letter on top of the line, number below the line. Keep writing first the letter and then the number. Letter, number, letter, number. So doing, you are going to complete the whole sentence. Easy? Wait, I'm going to time this exercise. Once you're done, shout out. In a second, wait. Start. Letter on top of the line, number below the line. No cheating. First letter, then number. What you need to write is also given on the board. Letter, number. Letter, number. Done? Done? First letter, then number. That's what you did. Done? Very good. Anyone still writing? We'll wait. Done? Is everyone done? Now you have the second line. This time what I want you to do is, again, don't start until I ask you to start. Write the whole English sentence first. And then you're going to write the numbers. Simple instruction. You will write the whole English sentence first. And then you will write the numbers. So the sentence is also given here. Start. Very good. In both the cases, this is what you should have got. You generated exactly the same output. Which one took longer, first one or the second one? So the first person who said yes, one of the fastest I've seen in the groups, took 26 seconds for the first one. And the first person who said yes, even though it was the same person, said that after 12 seconds for the second one. That was pretty quick. That is more than double this one. Now, which one was more difficult, first one or the second one? In which one did at least one of you make at least one mistake? Thanks for being honest. First one. Now, you took more than double the time, you made mistakes, you felt stressed, and you still have the audacity to claim that you can multitask. Such a simple exercise. I didn't even ask you to write 19 table from memory. I just showed you what to write, and still we ended up making mistakes. The reason, that is brain switching penalty in action. How many times, again, pay attention. How many times did we have to switch our attention in the first one? Pay attention. How many? You're not paying attention. (36 minus 1, 35 times. Because after you have switched your attention, there is nothing to write here. So you don't need to perform another switch. 36 minus 1, 35 times. And here, how many times? 35 times you switched your attention unnecessarily. And that is what doubled the amount of time you took and you felt stressed. Because human brain cannot do two cognitively expensive tasks at the same time. And each time you try to do that, it wastes some of your energy. And that's what you saw in action. Now imagine every few minutes, even if it is for a few seconds, you are switching your attention and then coming back. See the amount of energy you are wasting. What leaders and organizations want is multi-skilled, not multitasking people, because you cannot multitask. There's a big difference. And when you're listening to music while studying, is that multitasking? No, that is background tasking, because you are not focused on what song is getting played. Many a times we switch on the album, we are studying, and after a few minutes we realize, "Arey, album to pura ho gaya." Because you are not focused on which instrument is being played, ye kaun sa raag baj raha hai, kaun sa singer ga raha hai. No, you are just playing the music in the background. So that is background tasking. If whichever task you are doing, if attention is important, then you must switch to monotasking. Pun intended. Because human brain cannot multitask. Prioritize. Every day in the morning, block 10 minutes of your work day in the beginning as think time. What is it called? Think time. First 10 minutes. Perpetually you block those first 10 minutes on your calendar. And every day in the morning, you first try to visualize your whole day, write down what tasks you want to do, prioritize, allocate the time, and then start knocking one after the other. Possible? Possible? Because this way, when your brain is occupied with only one thing, you can complete the task in 12 seconds. And you don't need 26 seconds. Because we have never experienced these 12 seconds, as we are constantly distracted with the gadgets, we attend this technique, this productivity seminar, that productivity seminar, 26 seconds becomes 21 seconds, and you gained about 20%, you will post all on your social media, 20% improvement in productivity. But your original capability is only 12 seconds, not even 20. Eight hours I spend in front of my desk, 20% focus or 25% focus. How many hours worth of work got done? 8 hours, 25% focus. Same 8 hours, 50% focus. We have all experienced this. And that's the importance of attention. And this is what is getting impacted big time. One key takeaway from this retreat: creating a distraction-free study space if you're a student and workspace if you're a professional for yourself, and see the difference it makes. Huge difference to your productivity. Paying attention is like giving a slice of your life. Paying attention is equivalent to giving a slice of your life. Ask yourself, how many such slices of your life are you wasting in a livelong day? Yeah. We will come to that. I handle that in the next part of the session. Yes. Yesterday we learned about the mind, and then I promised you we're going to learn about the brain today. So one property of the brain is called neuroplasticity. Plasticity comes from Greek word called plastikos. That means that which is flexible or that which can be molded. That's why it's called plastic. Neuroplasticity means brain's ability to change its physical structure in response to our thoughts and in response to our actions. If I were to scan your brain before you started this retreat and after you attended this retreat, assuming you focused and then took in something, then there will be physical changes inside the brain. If there is no attention, then there won't be any changes. How does this work? Now, this is a slice of your brain. These are the neurons. This is before learning something. It could be anything, any skill. After learning, what happens to the exact same slice of the brain? What is the difference? What is the difference? There are more connections, more neurons, and the size also has increased. This is exactly how we learn things. Every time you learn something, that information, that learning is encoded into the brain in the form of bunch of neural circuits. What are they? Neural circuits. And what does learning mean? Write down another equation. Learning is equal to attention plus repetition. Learning is equal to attention plus repetition. When I repeat something with attention, and remember, because attention is the gate for the information to get inside the brain. You can fool anybody on this earth, but you can't fool your brain. Because if there is no attention, it will not allow information inside. So when you pay attention and repeat something, that helps create these neural circuits. So the simple principle of this neuroplasticity is, the more you repeat a task with attention, the stronger the neural circuits. The stronger the neural circuits, the easier the task becomes. And stronger the neural circuits, the longer you will remember. That's what we all experience. The stronger the neural circuits, the longer you will remember. And whatever you repeat, brain makes it easier. Most important principle. Whatever you repeat, brain makes it easier. Can you repeat? Loudly. Again. 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 Remember that. You must have seen some people. Nothing happens. They will sit in one corner and do Ganga Jamuna. Why? Because they got so used to worry that they don't even need a trigger. They become experts in worrying. Ask your brain to concentrate. You become better at concentrating because that's what you're teaching. It will take a few attempts until those neural circuits are formed. That's why it doesn't happen in one day. Yesterday, that's why I kept repeating. You need to do it again and again, consistently and persistently, because that is what creates the neural circuits. And brain is value neutral. It doesn't differentiate between you repeating something positive or you repeating something negative. Anything that you repeat, brain makes it easier. And that is why I call brain as a wonderful Tathastu machine. You understand Tathastu, right? Tatahastu, that means whatever you're thinking, let that happen. That's how elders bless us. So the biggest elder is here. Yeah, we all have a brain. Sometimes you might forget, but I assure you we have one. And anytime you repeat something, your brain is saying, yeah. Without binge watching for a couple of hours, I can't sleep. What does your brain say? And it makes it easier. So today it is 2 hours, tomorrow it is 2 hours, 20 minutes, day after it is 2.5 hours, and then it keeps increasing. Or you say, I went to Mount Abu, so from today morning onwards, I will not touch my mobile for the first 1 hour. What does your brain say? It's not easy because it takes energy to create those neural circuits, but it's possible. So the beauty of this neuroplasticity is Neuroplasticity is the biological capability that nature has given us to become a better version of ourselves. Biologically, each one of us is endowed with this capability to become a better version of ourselves. Whether we invest time and energy into it or not is in my hands. But the biological capability is already there. I can become a better version of myself. So what is the impact of this neuroplasticity? The way your habits get formed, it's exactly the same mechanism that addictions are also formed. Whether it is positive habit or a negative habit, neuroplasticity works exactly the same because both of them you repeated with attention. That's why the more you use mobile and social media, the harder it gets to move away because the neural circuits have become so strong. Now, we don't have to get disheartened. The beauty of the brain is until your last breath, new neurons will keep getting created every single day. And whatever activity you do with focus, these neurons will migrate to that part of the brain. So that old adage, you cannot teach new tricks to old dash, is no longer valid. You can teach new tricks however old you are, because that is what neuroplasticity helps us. So if you want to create a new habit for exactly the same stimulus, you can use the same neuroplasticity to create a new neural circuit. In the evening, especially if once it starts getting dark outside after 6 p.m., I don't feel like sitting in my room. That's why what I do, the stimulus is, if I sit there, again, I will open this book or I will call somebody. So I don't want to distract myself. I walk out of my room and take a nice walk. Now the stimulus is exactly the same, getting dark outside, but the new response is going out for a walk without my mobile. Now this is a new neural circuit I am creating. And the more I repeat, the easier it becomes. And this becomes my new habit. And this capability is also provided by neuroplasticity. Many of you yesterday were asking, how can we create those new habits? This is how you create new habits. Stimulus will remain the same, but your response will be different. And you need to practice because those neural circuits need to get stronger. Somebody raised their hand. Yes. Aging. No. The only thing that matters is difference because of age is you have to repeat it a few more times. That's it. Ability to form the neural circuits is there, but it will just take a little longer because you need to repeat few more times because that capability weakens a little bit with age. We'll explore that also. Clear so far? Okay. Now this is another most important insights you are going to get today. Digital gadgets are inherently addictive. That's how they are designed. Whether it is your gadget, whether it is your app, they are designed to make you get addicted. Take this example. If something is a tool, it is just waiting there to be used. For example, you have a football at home. Every day you play football. For the last 1 month, because of your timelines or because of your exams, you did not touch your football. Does your football come to you and ask, kick karo na, ek mahina ho gaya? Does it tell you, why don't you come please kick me? It's been 30 days since you kicked me. Does your football say that? No, it's just lying there until you go kick it again. It will not come back and ask you. Because that is tool-based environment. It's just a tool. But from tool-based environment, we moved to addiction-based environment where the tool is no longer a tool. It is seducing you, manipulating you, and it wants things from you. Somebody click your photo. Do you want to see? You haven't come to us for 3 days. We are missing you. Please come. It demands your attention. It manipulates you. It seduces you. So we moved from a tool-based technology to addiction-based technology. The biggest change that has happened in the last 2 decades. Neither professionals, nor doctors, nor parents, nor students, nor teachers are aware of this subtle but significant shift in how we use the gadgets. And that is why today, in current times, it is more important to practice and assert that swaman or self-respect that I am the master. Because otherwise, the master is already in the waiting. Because we moved from tool-based technology to addiction-based technology. Another important principle. The more something is accessible and affordable, it increases addiction. Now, if you want to move away, you flip the script. You make it inaccessible, you make it unaffordable. Then automatically, whatever you got addicted to, you can start moving away from it. Now, how do you make it inaccessible or unaffordable? Let me give you an example. A friend of mine, every day when he used to come back from office, he would sit in his couch and then watch the television for a couple of hours. He got sick and tired. His wife got sick and tired with his habit. He wanted to get out of it, but he could not. So one day his wife called me and she said, Bala, we need your help. You know, this fellow, he comes from office for 2 hours. He watches television, anything that is running, nothing like there's something specific. And he wastes his time. He doesn't spend time with the kids. And he also wants to come out of it. We need your help. I made a simple suggestion. I said, tomorrow morning when he goes out to office, hide the remote. Because today's televisions are all smart televisions. Without a remote, they don't work. And I said, he will come back, yell and shout at you, tear his hair, tear his clothes. Don't give them a remote. So she hid the remote. That evening he came, he was checking. There's no remote, so how do you switch on the television? Nothing will come. So for 10-15 minutes, he was uncomfortable because those neural circuits, they were raging inside for the dopamine hit. He was not going to get because his wife decided, kuch bhi karo, remote nahi milne wala. Then after 15 minutes, he started getting up and started, engaging himself with the kids and other activity. Now this became a new neural circuit. So every day he would come and every day he would not find the remote. So for 1 month, she did this. And after 1 month, it became natural now. Now, even if the remote is in front of him, he won't pick it up because that new neural circuit got created and that became a new habit. And that's why in our culture, we are asked to do 21 din ka vrat. For 21 days, you are asked to take a vow. And you're asked to repeat same time, same place, same thoughts, same action. Why? Now you know the science behind it. Because that is typically the time it takes. For some it takes less, for some it takes more. Even 1 hour of attentional practice can start creating neural circuits. But for them to become stronger and become a habit, it will need few more days. Depending on your practice and attention, it might even take a few weeks. And that's why internet addiction is a recognized psychiatric disorder in current times. In every major town and city in India, we have internet de-addiction centers. People are spending tens of hours every day, 10, 15, 16 hours online. This addiction is so strong that you see South Korean teenagers, they wear diapers while playing games. I'm not kidding. So that they don't have to go to bathroom to take the bathroom break. Because if they take a break, they will lose points. That's the level of addiction we are talking about. As somebody was asking, neuroplasticity is strong when we are young. As we grow old, it is still there, but it needs few more repetitions. So as kids, we picked up language. We picked up walking. two most difficult things for anyone to learn, we just learnt it naturally because of the power of this neuroplasticity. And that's why some kids, you must have seen, they learn multiple languages depending on what kind of environment they live in. They pick up skills very, very fast because neuroplasticity is very strong. Strong means it needs less number of repetitions. It requires less number of repetitions. I'm going to show you the photograph of a small kid, 18-month-old kid, not 18 years, 18-month-old kid. His dad, who was a laborer in Indonesia, he was a smoker, and just like that, he introduced smoking to the 18-month-old kid. And the kid started smoking 40 cigarettes a day within 2 months. And the Indonesian government had to intervene and take the kid away. That's the power of neuroplasticity. And now, we discussed about digital gadgets being addictive, and we talked about neuroplasticity being powerful for kids. See the deadly combination. How many of you have seen kids who don't want to eat without a screen? Now you know the reason. And I see unsuspecting and ignorant parents celebrating. मेरे बच्चा ना 2 साल का है, WhatsApp में मैसेज भेजता है. What is there to celebrate? What have we done to our kids? Give the mobile, yaar, just 1 hour. I have a call with my CEO. दे दो. Who introduced that gadget to the kids? Did the kid ask? Who gave you the authority to spoil someone else's future? And as a parent, if you don't have time for your kids, why did you bring another soul into this world? I'm sorry, no intention to hurt you, but this is something I'm very passionate about. You have no right for your own convenience to spoil one more soul's future. Because that's what they need. There are other constraints, I agree. But that is what you need to budget into. Because if you start giving them these gadgets which are inherently addictive and they are extremely powerful in terms of learning new things, they get addicted to it so fast. I'll give another example. My neighbors, both of them software engineers, they put their 2-year-old daughter in the daycare center. And nowadays in daycare centers, you don't find many nannies. I don't know how many of you know that. You will find many iPads. Because for every kid, you just give the iPad at the time, you just feed them and they are happy. The nannies are happy because whoever is running the center is happy because they don't need to spend so much more money on hiring more nannies. So she would stay in the daycare center whole day. In the evening, they would bring her, put in front of her the 60-inch television, switch on the cartoons, and because they need some personal time with each other. And kid is a nuisance. So they put the kid in front of the 60-inch television for next 1.5 hours. And this continued for months together. At least next couple of years, I warned them, they didn't listen. She stopped emoting. She stopped understanding emotions. She just stares at you. And when she speaks with impeccable American accent. That's the only skill she picked up. Now ask yourself. And they had to work really hard to bring her back. Because the neuroplasticity is so powerful and things are so addictive. Day after day. Count the number of hours the kid was spending in front of the screen. Because they never checked what the kid was doing in the daycare center. And they had to struggle. And for some people, you will meet kids. I don't know if you have not already met, but I have seen kids. They are so violent. They can't eat if you don't give them the iPad or mobile. They hit, they beat, they yell, they shout, they fall sick. And they don't want to study. They want to continuously keep watching. Now, what kind of future we want to create is in our hands. You decide. Now, what is this doing to our kids? There's a cartoon show. This is from a newspaper, okay? On 2024, last year, 23rd October 24. So they're talking about the digital addiction in kids. Two cases are given here. First case, 9-year-old Rohan, he started watching an animation-based show which was filled with violent scenes. And he started behaving like the protagonist and turning violent after continuously watching the show for the last 2 years. Now you imagine what impact it would have caused in that little kid's brain when the kid started behaving violently. Violence, oil, sugar, salt, sex, all these five are extremely addictive. That is why every game that is designed is filled with violence. Every mobile game, if you watch, is filled with violence. And that's why in the name itself we have that word called war, Warcraft. One of the most famous games because it's all about violence. And that's very, very addictive. Now see this other kid, 10-year-old Ananya. She was watching a very famous cartoon show which was having a doll in it. And she started behaving like that doll. And now you know why. This is what is happening. Hundreds of thousands of kids out there, silently, though so many parents are struggling. Even doctors don't seem to understand why this is happening. You know, one of my doctor friends, he called me recently. He said, Bala, I need your help. I said, you are such a wonderful fellow. Why do you need my help? He said, I got addicted to reels. I'm not kidding. Again, from the newspaper report, before PUBG got banned, this is from Hyderabad, where I come from, 19-year-old kid. He was playing PUBG for 6 hours a day, 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., sleeping for 3 hours, going to college as if nothing happened. In 2.5 months, he developed blood clots inside the brain, got paralyzed waist down. Doctors tried their best for next 3 months, couldn't save him. And this is happening. Because dad said, study, don't play PUBG. Now you see the power of those neural circuits, where you will lose your ability to think and decide. Like drug withdrawal symptoms, mobile withdrawal symptoms are real. Why does this happen? Write and reflect. That's why it's so hard to stay away from our mobiles. This is the reason. Let's do this simple exercise. Sit back, close your eyes. Sit straight, sit back, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Let go of any tension in any part of your body and relax yourself. Slowly breathe in and breathe out. Bring your attention to your stomach. As you breathe in, the muscles of your stomach expand. As you breathe out, the muscles of your stomach contract. Relax yourself. As you relax, gently visualize your typical day from the time you wake up till the time you sleep, and gently review what do you do whenever you want to relax. Don't judge, don't analyze, just review. What do you do when you want to relax on a typical day? Don't judge, don't analyze, just review. What are those moments when you try to relax, and what do you do as a form of relaxation? Gently rub your palms and wipe your eyes. Most of the times, yes or no? Waiting in the queue, waiting for the cab, waiting for the meeting to start, waiting for the speaker to arrive. And if that is what we are doing for relaxation, you do it for 2 minutes, it becomes 20 minutes, and then it becomes 2 hours. Even if you watch relaxation videos on YouTube for 2 hours, do you feel relaxed or stressed or exhausted? Is there anyone here who says, for 2 hours I watched reels continuously, now I am so energetic, I'll work for 4 hours. Does anyone say that? What happens at the end of those 2 hours? You feel empty inside? You feel empty inside? You feel frustrated? And you feel disturbed? You feel exhausted? Because what you are doing in the name of relaxation is you are stimulating your mind and brain. You're not relaxing, you're stimulating. If you have a mixie at home and you continuously run it without switching it off, drrr, 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 what happens to the mixie? First smoke starts coming out and then it gets spoiled, right? So ask what you're doing to this mixie. From the time you wake up till the time you sleep, are there any moments that you are giving any stop? Please write and reflect. Relaxation means think less, think slow. And that's what we learned yesterday in overcoming overthinking session. Because when you think less, think slow, you feel relaxed, because that is relaxation. And stimulation means think different, think more. The first few minutes when you change the task, because brain likes novelty, you will feel it, you are getting relaxed. Yes or no? But that is not relaxation. As it continues, because you are thinking more, you feel exhausted. So now you might ask, Bala, all this is okay. Now tell me, when am I relaxing and when am I stimulating? I want to know. You also want to know now? Here's the answer. Whether it is a 6-inch screen or a 60-inch screen, wherever there is a screen, can you repeat? It is not relaxation. Again, wherever there is a screen, it is not relaxation. We will come to that. We'll come to that. I'll explain that principle. Anything in excess is not good. Yeah, it depends on what kind of content you are consuming. And because it is just 1.5 hours, you are feeling relaxed. Now, if you want to continue this, I will ask to postpone the break and I will continue for 1 more hour. Everybody will be sleeping or silently they will walk out. I will make all the doors also closed. Then it won't be relaxation, right? So I am not saying that you throw the baby with the bathwater. I'm not saying you should stop using mobiles or gadgets, but learn to become responsible digital gadget users. You should know when to use, when to stop. They bring in many advantages. Yesterday morning, I was driving to the airport. Early in the morning, my sister called and she said, I need you to book these tickets. Next 12 minutes, sitting in my car using my mobile, I was able to book the ticket and then send it to her. So there are advantages. There's no denying about that. But anything in excess is not good. What are you doing with that gadget? That is important. So, okay, any questions? So digital wellness is all about becoming responsible digital gadget users. I'm not saying you should stop using those gadget users. No, that's not our intent. Sorry? What would be the modes of relaxation? Very good question. I was about to come there. Take another couple of minutes. Think of all the screen-free relaxation activities that you can imagine and start writing them down. I want you to write at least 5. Screen-free relaxation. A hint. As a kid, whatever hobbies you did were all screen-free relaxation activities. Now you start writing. At least 5, I want each one of you to start writing. Any activity where no screen is involved. Got at least 5? Don't stop, continue. Continue. All of you got at least 5? At least 5? Very good. We'll come back to that list in a minute. A constantly stimulated brain is a weak and stressed brain. That is why so much exhaustion. We wake up in the morning, we are still exhausted. We don't feel that energy because you stimulated your brain before sleeping. Why we talked about positive engagement? It is because of this insight. The brain that doesn't feed itself, very powerful, eats itself. And that's what we are doing to ourselves. And that's where the new word last year introduced by Oxford Dictionary. The low quality digital content, online content people are consuming, they are literally destroying the brain cells. They are literally killing the neurons. That's why I said digital calories distract your mind and destroy your brain. Rot is the short form for rotten. That's what we are doing to our brains. So what is the impact of this distraction, this constant distraction? What is it doing to our mind? What is it doing to our brain? And why that attention is important? This is a glass. All of you can see this. Now, if I keep shaking this, will I be able to use this glass? As long as it is shaking? As long as my hand is shaking, will I be able to use the glass? Even if the glass is made out of gold, it is useless as long as my hand is shaking. If I have to use the glass, my hand needs to be stable. This hand is my mind, and this glass is my brain. If I want to utilize my brain, I need to stabilize my mind. Most important principle of digital wellness. That's why I said the most important skill of current times is attention. Because attention stabilizes your mind. And when mind is stabilized, brain gets into learning mode. Please make a note. When mind is stabilized, brain gets into learning mode. That means it will absorb information. That's what we learned. When you pay attention, brain opens its gate and then information starts getting inside. When your mind is constantly distracted, when there is no attention, brain cannot absorb information. And unfortunately, in our education system, two things that we completely threw out in post-independence education is relaxation and reflection. We are not taught about mind sciences at all. Zero. And this is where meditation becomes important. Now, do you agree everybody needs to learn and practice meditation? Not somebody who is more than 60 years? When I started practicing meditation, when my friends or someone else used to ask me, why now, Bala? Why you should do it after 60? I would ask them, when would you need a guide when you are about to write exams? Not after failing all the exams, you buy all the guides. What is the use? Yes or no? As a student, when I'm writing the exam, that is when I will need all the textbooks, all the help. When I'm using my brain to accomplish things, that is when I need a stable mind. That's when I need to practice meditation, not after I failed my life. Mind, brain, and body are very intimately connected. That's why I showed this bidirectional arrow. When mind is relaxed, brain sends an all okay signal to the body. What signal? All okay. When mind is not relaxed, it is disturbed, anxious, scared, brain sends a not okay signal. What signal? When it is relaxed, all okay. When it is not relaxed, it sends not okay signal. That is why dis-ease here becomes disease here. Dis-ease here becomes disease here. That's why more than 90% diseases start here are psychosomatic. What is the cost of this constant distraction? Decreased sense of well-being. It impairs our decision-making capability. Increases irritation and anxiety. We have all experienced this. Increases attention deficit hyperactivity disorder among kids and attention deficit disorder, ADD, among elders. Increases chances of getting depressed. Increases stress hormones. And it reduces your lifespan, literally. By reducing the telomeres are the final portions of the chromosome. So if you want to continue to spend time in front of the screen and reach nirvana early, welcome to the party. Nobody is going to stop you. And that's why you see people in their 20s and 30s getting heart attacks, diabetes. ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder where the kids are not able to stay stable. They are constantly thinking, constantly their mind is working more like a popcorn machine. Right? And one of the important causes is this constant distraction. 226 people died because both of them were watching their mobile. वो धीरे से प्यार से अंदर से मार रहा है इसलिए हमको पता नहीं चलता है. Right? Slowly, sweetly, it is destroying us from inside. As a digital wellness coach, many people come to me after they started getting suicidal thoughts, after they are unable to sleep, unable to eat, unable to focus. That's when they come to me. Because by then they would have spent countless hours in front of screens. Again, if this is what you want to do, welcome to the party. Who is there going to stop you? And your smartphone is what? Your smartphone is your distraction machine, on demand distraction, ODD. Coding people and programmers, very good question. Did anyone here get addicted to work? I would love to meet them. Anyone here addicted to work? Now you got your answer. What we are doing with this constant distraction is we are not allowing time for deep reflection. Without deep reflection, deep work is not possible. Without deep work, we cannot answer the life's questions. That's why we are becoming both hollow and shallow. We have replaced internet and gadgets as a substitute for personal memory, and that is both misguided and dangerous. Both reasoning and recall are getting impacted. And constant distractedness that net encourages is very different from purposeful relaxation or diversion. Both are totally two different things. Now, many people ask, there was a question a few minutes ago. I said, I'm going to deal that. So we're going to talk about it now. Where schools are celebrating, we don't use textbooks. They are so old school. Yesterday. We only use iPad. We communicate with our students on WhatsApp. Let's see that. Now, we learned about neuroplasticity. We learned about brain switching penalty. The third property of the brain is neuroassociative conditioning. When two things are performed near simultaneously, brain creates association between the two. Neurons that fire together, wire together. That's the principle. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Now let me demonstrate. I'm going to say a word, and a related word that comes to your mind. You should not think much. You should answer it. We'll start with the demo. If I say library, good. Did anyone say sleep? Not yet. So now you know. When I say a word, you should say a word that is related to what I'm saying. Ready? Good. Go ahead, go ahead. There are 400 plus people in the hall. Did one person say study? I want to meet you now. One person. When you go against the association that is made inside the brain, you will need a lot more energy to redirect that association and then create a new one. That is why any deep learning is not possible through screens. Please don't fool yourself. Watching a video is okay. Watching some of those, but you need to practice those. You need to reflect, especially for students. If you move them completely to the screens, it is destroying their IQ. It is destroying their EQ. Once in a while, using those gadgets is okay, but replacing the book completely is wrong. I'll give you a specific example. One of my friends, she is a professor in a medical college. 125 students after MBBS, they wrote their MD exam. How many students do you think got qualified? Pick a number. Pick a number. 4, 10, just one person. Only one. And they were curious. What did she do differently that she got qualified? All other 124 students, they used screens to read. And while they were reading, what happens? Click me, Come to me, watch me, and once I go, I am lost. She was the only one who sat in the library, old school, opened the books, and spent hours together. What does digital reading do? Because you approach things with an entertainment mindset, not for deep study. We just did that exercise. Propensity to multitask. That means you do two different things, like people walk and then listen to audiobooks as if they are saving time. It is just to stroke their ego. Neither that happens nor this happens. Because when you are walking, don't do fashion parade walking. Do brisk walking. And if you are doing brisk walking, you can't focus on your audio. Do only one thing at a time. Reduced use of annotation, less frequent reviewing of what has been read. Now here comes the answer about the ebooks. For light reading, there's nothing wrong with it. How many times, how easy it is to flip back 15 pages of ebook and how easy it is to flip back 15 pages of your physical book. See the difference. How easy it is to annotate. So each one has a place. But when you replace one with the other, that's when the problem starts. More mind wandering. Yes or no? That's the book if any one of you is interested. How We Read Now. She's explored this topic very beautifully. For all those who are policymakers, parents, teachers, professors, please watch this video. This is from UK, summarizing the recent research that has been done in Sweden. Anyone is interested in the paper that she's talking about, we will email that to you. Just watch.
Home. But then their children go to school and they experience hours of screen time in the guise of educational technology or ed tech. Whether that's in the form of iPads and Alexa voice assistants for nursery school children, learning systems like Power School in primary school, or Google Classroom on secondary school devices. Who has proven that this deluge of screen education is what's best for our children? No one has. If we step back and view this state of affairs through a compassionate lens, it's fairly understandable. Let's wave aside the fact that only 7% of UK edtech companies have conducted randomized controlled trials, and just 12% have used third-party certification. Let's put these pesky facts aside. At the beginning, these products seemed futuristically exciting. Well-intentioned schools spent fortunes buying and implementing the latest software and trained their teachers in how to use it. And some of the tools, like no more marking, have been helpful for teachers. But now we have better data on how tech is impacting pupils, so we must press pause and, in many cases, rewind. The Karolinska Institute in Sweden recently published research concluding that there's clear scientific evidence that tools impair rather than enhance learning. Sweden has taken note and been the first country to kick tech out of the classroom, reinvesting in books, paper, and pens. They had the courage to admit that EdTech was a failed experiment. Bill Gates himself said that devices have a lousy record in the classroom. Mark Zuckerberg went to a tech-free school in Boston. Steve Jobs didn't let his own children use iPads. UNESCO says moderation should be the key word relating to classroom tech use. The OECD found that most EdTech has not delivered the academic benefits once promised.
Yes, that's the research after 1 decade of using tech in the classrooms. That's what Sweden came up with. I wish that Indian government also soon realizes this. So what is the impact? Today, there is a clear relationship between new technology exposure and mental disorders. The more you use technology, the higher is the probability of you suffering from mental disorders. A little bit about social media. That's the reality and what gets shown. The more time you spend on Facebook or any social media, the more lonely you will feel and higher the probability of getting depressed. This published literature. In a minute, I'll share a website where you can download all this. Decreased attention span leading to blue tick anxiety. You all know what is blue tick anxiety? Increased social media usage linked with lower self-esteem because of constant comparison. Increase in suicides. And these are the numbers. 2009, they introduced mobile and social media. 70% increase. 151% increase on suicides. Non-fatal self-harm, because they are not able to engage their mind positively. They feel blank. They need some stimulation, so they cut themselves. That is non-fatal self-harm. And it's happening. And if you are having these kind of apps on your mobile, you are also an electronic cocaine addict, whether you like it or not. That's when I said withdrawal symptoms. Now, if you have that courage, uninstall all that nonsense. Dil dhadakti hai. That is your withdrawal symptom. Now ask yourself. Impact on your body. There's not a single organ that is left without getting impacted. Sleep, the biggest casualty of current times. Because when it starts getting dark, brain releases a hormone called melatonin, what we call a sleep hormone, which helps relax us so that we can sleep. But if you continuously keep staring at the screen, your brain gets tricked. And it postpones the secretion of melatonin, because the blue light in that screen light, it tricks your brain and says, abhi raat hui nahi hai, aish karo. And that's when your sleep keeps getting delayed. And that has huge impact on our body. We need at least 6 to 7 hours of proper deep sleep every day, because this is the impact of sleeplessness. This is just a representative list. Go through it. Now, what are we doing all this for? Just to know किस कुत्ते की दुम कितनी टेढ़ी है सोने से पहले, और कौन कितना कम कपड़े पहना है और कौन किसके साथ भाग गया है. And this is what you are sacrificing your life for. Your choice. That's why I said excess of anything is not good. It comes from our culture. Atirupena why Sita? If Sita was like Shurpanaka, then Ravana wouldn't have come after her. Atirupena why Sita? Rupa means beauty. Atigarvena Ravanaha. The arrogance of Ravana did him in. Atidanam Balirdatva. The Bali Chakravarti story. If you don't know, make a note and search after the session or after the retreat. Too much of dan or giving away your wealth is not good. Atidanam balirdatva, ati sarvatra varjayet. Excess of anything in any aspect of your life is not good. The same goes even with our gadget usage. That's why we say the Brahmakumari's digital wellness message is become responsible digital gadget users. Anything in excess is not good. How digital silence helps the brain. This is the research. Productivity. These mental breaks, they increase productivity, replenish attention, solidify memories, encourage creativity. Now, go back to the screen-free list of relaxation activities you listed. Pick one that you want to start practicing from today or from tomorrow onwards. Just one. And remember the neuroplasticity. Initially, it will be difficult. The more you keep repeating, the easier it becomes, because your brain needs it. Choose one screen-free relaxation activity that you only have listed. Decided? Good. So if you're interested, we'll share the deck so you don't have to click the photos. There are many of these books that you can do. The one thing that I would encourage you to is create a timetable for your mind. Positively engage your mind, we said, right? We create a timetable for day-to-day activities, but also create a timetable for your mind. If I'm in office, what should I think? When I'm at home, what should I think? When I'm sitting in meditation, what should I think? So like physical hygiene, we have digital hygiene. Don't keep your mobile on the dining table, because that's one of the dirtiest pieces that we carry. Disinfect your mobile regularly, at least once a week. Do not carry your mobile to the bathroom. This is causing a lot of problems. Yes, both for digestion and elimination, you need focus. And if you're distracted, that system doesn't work properly. Mobile should be kept at least 10 feet away from you while you're sleeping. Please start doing it from tonight. You should not have mobile beside you. And why do we have mobile beside us? Because of this. I recently bought one extra alarm clock at home. It costed me 299 rupees with snooze facility. Digital alarm clock on Amazon. So if you think your life is important and it is worth more than 299 rupees, place an order. And by the time you go back, it will get delivered. Then there is no need for you to use mobile as alarm clock. Then there is no need to keep the mobile beside you. And do not touch your mobile at least for 1 hour after you wake up, 2 hours before you sleep. Because you need this mobile-free time for your relaxation. That first 1 hour after you wake up, your brain is more like a sponge. You need to fill it with something positive. That's why in our culture we talk about performing puja, chanting mantras, doing Surya Namaskar. All of these are meant to keep us active and fill ourselves with something positive. Not start your day by checking your social media accounts. Don't. And keep mobiles away from your kids. I will need few more minutes. Is that okay? If your break is going to get shortened by another 5 minutes. Thank you. And some of the ways to unplug and detoxify. If you think you are the master and your mobile is your slave, you can change your slave, isn't it? That's why we call it as a slave. Give this a shot. You are still available, you are still accessible, somebody needs you, but there won't be constant pings. Even on our office chat, if somebody sends me a message, some of them are here in the hall, they say, "Hi Bala." I said, "Ye hi Bala kya hota hai? What is this hi Bala? Khaya, piya, soya, dhoya. What is this meant for? What do you need? Write the whole message." लोग जिंदगी खपा देते हैं हाई बाला के पीछे. That's why I tell my team members, don't send me a hi Bala message. I will not respond. If it is important, call me. Otherwise, wait until I respond, because there is an SLA. I'll take at least 2 hours. When I check those things after 2 hours, that is when you will get the response. So don't waste your time. Are you coming for lunch? Less than 10 seconds. You waste 20 minutes sending stupid messages. And when that is happening, you're not able to focus on anything. And you have 10 other notification windows open. Ridiculous. You don't need any of them. Switch off all notifications, because notifications are chief wreckers of your attention. Make your bedroom radiation free. Have screen free breakfast, lunch and dinner starting today, including your break. No screens. Possible? And I heard that a lot of you are speaking and watching your mobile while eating. Please don't do that. Focus. Don't waste the food. Here, whatever food is done, it's first offered to God and then prepared with a lot of love and served. You can eat as much as you want, but don't waste it. And don't waste time speaking. Focus on your food. Eat with lots of love. Possible? From today afternoon, no screens. I'll come today afternoon to check. Avoid using mobiles for all non-essential activities. Once a week, do mobile fasting as a family. मोबाइल उपवास रखो, अच्छा है. फैमिली के लिए, सेहत के लिए, मन के लिए, ब्रेन के लिए मोबाइल का उपवास अच्छा है. 24 घंटे, 1 day. And don't worry, you're not going to miss a single message, because nobody is going to miss you. And because they can, Don't worry, they won't call. Because you inform them, post the messages in your hundreds of WhatsApp groups. Some stupid fellow Bala, he said do mobile fasting, so we are doing. So I won't be accessible for one full day. And you won't even get a response. Don't worry. Uninstall all social media apps, if not use a really long password. I will not use my Snapchat or Instagram for more than 5 minutes. That's your password. And you try a couple of times, you get so irritated, you will do one of those. Either you will uninstall or you will change your password. If you're a master, you will uninstall. If you're a slave, you will change your password. No late night binge watching, because the stimulated brain cannot sleep properly. So no horror movies, no midnight biryanis. At least 2 hours of digital silence per day. Digital silence. And be merciless with your mobile. अपने मोबाइल के प्रति रहम दिल मत बनो. Going for dinner, lunch, breakfast, meeting, leave your mobile. Spending time with your family, leave your mobile aside. You're doing some serious work, leave your mobile aside. Because if you want to use your mobile full, then you will become useless. But if you want to become useful, then learn to use your mobile less. So where you will put that full and where you will put that less is in your hands. Mobile full, then you will become. Mobile less, then you will become. Equation is very simple. And of course, spend a few minutes meditating. So in order to share this message, we have started Brahma Kumari's Digital Wellness Initiative and spreading this message both in schools, colleges, universities. Any one of you is interested, most welcome to join us to spread this message. Do leave your email IDs. And we created this 30 hours or even 45 hours digital wellness curriculum, which talks about these 5 units, a glimpse of which you got here. And we also created a textbook on digital wellness. It's available outside the hall. You can buy. And it costs 1/4 of a Starbucks coffee. So it costs only 65 rupees. And the essence, you will also have some really good digital wellness cards, which you can play with your family or you can gift it to your friends. And you will also find these beautiful digital wellness cards, which you can also take them with you. Okay, that's the textbook. And digital wellness as a subject has already been introduced in many universities. In a minute, I will share those details. We also conduct these digital wellness retreats of 1 to 1.5 days. Many of you, we have CXOs here. If you're interested in having your team go through this 1-day retreat or 1.5 day retreat, we can plan that. We have BK retreat centers all over India. We can decide when is the next one. And if you're interested, you can send us an email, dw@brahmakumaris.com. Don't click, write down in your notebook or remember. DW short form for digital wellness, brahmakumaris.com. Easy to remember? dw@brahmakumaris.com. Drop us an email and we will respond. Now, there is a small clarification about contributions here. So somebody yesterday, after we talked about contributions yesterday, they were sharing something. Then I got immediately reminded about Akbar Birbal's story. The story goes like this. Akbar told Birbal that my subjects are very generous. Whatever I ask, they will give. Birbal said, no, your subjects are not generous. And Akbar said, prove it. So then Birbal said, he made an announcement in the kingdom. At night, after 10 p.m., there's a big pond in front of the palace. You need to put a glass of milk in that. That is a simple announcement. In those days, at nights, we didn't have all these focus lights and street lights. So it used to get dark post 6 p.m. So after 10, there's no question of any light. And Birbal made sure that the palace lamps were also switched off. Because Birbal wanted to show the subjects are not so generous. And Akbar he said no, so they wanted to prove it. He said after 10 p.m., pour a glass of milk. Next day, Akbar comes eagerly to check the pond. Not a single drop of milk. Because everybody thought Others will pour the milk. So if I pour one glass of water, who is going to notice? So nobody poured any milk. So you decide which kind of audience or which kind of subjects you want to be. And anyone is interested, they were asking Ujjwala Ben. So she would be the person whom you can contact if you want to make any contributions. Okay? Good. So she will be available there at the desk outside where you're going to have these digital wellness books and boxes where you took your selfie. That's where she will be there. You can ask. She'll help you with those. So number of memorandums that Brahma Kumaris have signed and where universities have already introduced this digital wellness as a subject. For the last 2 years, digital wellness is introduced as an elective here at Anna University. VNIT Nagpur, IIIT Nagpur, DY Patil Group of Institutions in Pune, TGP CET in Nagpur. They have just introduced digital wellness as a compulsory subject for their 1,200 students. That means if you don't pass in this exam, you will not get your degree. So they made it compulsory, the digital wellness. And that's the textbook which I've shown. Lloyd's Group of Institutions, Noida. Very soon we will be starting here also. And if you are interested, that's the website where you can start your journey. We will share all the material. The Brahma Kumaris Digital Wellness team not only created the textbook, we also created the complete slide decks, assignments, question papers, study material, so that the adoption of this subject becomes easier. And we also conduct 3-day train the trainer programs all over India, where whoever is interested, we train them so that they can start teaching the subject in their respective colleges. And very soon we will be releasing a book for kids from 5th to 8th standard. So, and we will start the train the trainer program. So please watch out. If you're interested, give your email ID. We'll keep you informed. So we will share that with you. Just share us with your email ID. Email ID, you can share it at the reception. The same place. You can share it with Ujjwala Ben. So the summary, can all of you read this aloud for me? Let's change it. I am the master of my mobile. Say it. Again. Again. We started with that question, remember? Now you got your answer. इतना धीमी क्यों हो गई आवाज? जोर से बोलो ना. Say it loudly. हाँ. Again. Again. Thank you. We'll take only 1 or 2 questions and then we go for the break. Is that okay? And you're going to wind up real quick because there is no mobile distraction. You promised me that. Yeah, we will do that during the break. Yes.